Hi everybody, it's your man Dancing Bear. All right, today we're gonna make my favorite, a sausage and egg breakfast sandwich. All right, so first off, I'm gonna start with a little bit of EVOO. Budow, okay? Next off, I've got this little frying pan and I've got my shit on high. That's right, I did put my shit on high so that way I get that oil nice and going. Don't worry, I'm gonna turn this off, okay? So that way we don't burn the eggs, because that's what we're gonna cook first is the eggs, because the sausage is gonna leave a residue. It's not, I don't know, I guess common knowledge. I got my pan, it's nice and warm, my oil is nice and runny, so that way I get an even coat all over it. I wanna make sure that I get it all the way in there. And again, I did turn this stove off so it will cool down. Okay, let me just get this all nice and greased up on the bottom over here. That little spot. Ooh, watch out. That is hot. That is very hot. All right, I'm going to take my eggs. I'm going to crack it like a professional, okay? Watch this. We don't use the side. We use everything. You heard? Just jump in that bitch. You just got to... That's all you got to do. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it back on the stove. You're going to notice that it's going to go ahead and start cooking already because, like I said, that was hot. Let me put these eggs away. Alright, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it at a medium temperature. I got my shit set just a little bit above a medium, so I'm going to turn that down just a little bit below a medium. And yeah, I do have a brand new stove. Alright, I got my eggs. They're nice and warming up. I'm going to go ahead and push this over to the side so that way it matches. And I'm going to bring some of this juice right here and cut it right down the middle. That way that juice spreads. We don't want those whites to not spread. Okay, we're trying to cook this egg poached without a poacher. That's what we're going to do. I guess some people call it fried hard. I'm gonna check and see if the bottom of my egg is loose yet, which it's obviously not. Otherwise, the edges will be bubbling up nice and clear. You're gonna have some bubbles coming through over here where it's clear. Yeah, see it's starting to bubble up around these edges over here because it's a little bit more thin. I just want to get a nice good close-up of the edges of these eggs. You see how it's still a little bit runny right here? So it's not quite ready to be flipped yet. So guys, just be patient, guys. Just be patient. Okay, it's important that we don't get some of this action going on. I guess I call it that loose egg action. I'm gonna go ahead, because it's nice and dry right here down the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and slice that egg right down the middle. And a good surefire way to check, because we've got that even OO on the bottom. See, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. We don't want it to bust. That one just busted a little bit, guys. Oops. Alright, I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna check the bottom side to see if it's ready. Alright, because we got a little bit of bubbles coming up over here on this side. Gonna unseal that fake right there. Slowly, guys, slowly. Remember, don't rush it. And just nice and easy with it. Hot, very hot, guys, very hot. Remember that. All right, and our side over here busted a little bit, but we still got it. It's still gonna come out really nice in the end because, you know, we're professional like that. Oh, look at that. It's gonna be nice and runny right here. Gonna get some extra flavor on this one. Alright guys, and we are going to have to flip this over probably about 2 more times, but now that we've got this eggs flipped, we're just going to let it sit and cook over on this side just a little bit. Remember guys, slow and steady wins the race, okay? Alright, next I'm going to take my fancy French bread. Mine's is frozen, it makes it a little bit more easier for me to cut and not have to worry about squishing the bread. Mine's got some sesame seeds on. I do like sesame seeds on my breakfast sandwich. Now, I got my good knife here, okay, guys? I got my good knife. I don't care. Some of you might have a bread knife or whatever. I like this knife. I don't know. Maybe it's the Native American in me, and I like the skinheads. You know how it goes. But I'm just going to go ahead like that, and I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that that's even, nice and vertical, and I'm just gonna go whoop. There it went. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna give them a nice little slice right here to find me an indentation spot. Make sure it's vertical and just push right down. A lot of you don't have bear strength. Watch out for that. I am Dancing Bear, so I do got some bear strength. I'm gonna turn this oven up to 350. Okay, it's gonna toast out nice and evenly. I'm just gonna put it right here, right on top of the rack. Nothing special. Just right in there on top of the rack like that, right over those little heater coils. That way it's gonna get nice and crispy, okay? I don't know if you guys saw it in the last clip. I did have it on the back burner for a minute. Get it out the way just so stuff doesn't spray all out the way. My eggs are ready to flip. So I'm just gonna go ahead and slide that under like that, and it'll be so much more easier this time. You see it's getting fat, that means it's ready to be flipped, guys. Okay, that's the air inside getting expanded. All right, now that's been sitting for about a minute or two, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over one more time. And we're gonna have to do it maybe about one more time after this, just to make sure that these eggs get cooked all the way. Remember guys, don't turn up the heat because you don't want those eggs to burn, okay? And you're not, this is what I like to do. I like to just take my spatula right here and I just like to let it bounce, okay? Just let it bounce. And if the corners start to crack, like how they're doing right here in this little area right here, I don't know if you guys can see, it looks like a scar, I guess, on an egg. That's when you know it's still not ready, okay? Again, I'm just gonna leave it there for one more minute. I'm gonna flip it back over and do it one more minute after that, and it should be ready. All right, again, we're gonna come back over, we're gonna flip this. Okay, and I'd like to do this one more time just to make sure. I like to push down on it at this point just to make sure that there is nothing left, because if there is, it's probably going to pop out the bottom. If not, it's going to pop out the top. And you can easily flip it over and do it one more time if necessary. As you notice, none of my eggs are busting here, which means that it's pretty much fully cooked all the way through. And so I like to just rush the process a little bit sometimes and keep that little press down. Okay, I've got my plate right here. I'm going to put these on my plate and put that shit on my plate. Next, we're gonna take out these breakfast patties. I have my pre-frozen patties. I don't know, some of you guys might like to make up your own concoction or whatever. So I'm gonna take these two right here. Again, leaving it on the same heat. Okay, this is where it gets tricky, guys. A lot of people like to put a lid on top of that in order to keep that moisture in, but sometimes that doesn't work, especially not on pork, guys. You don't wanna overcook the pork. That's just gonna make all the moisture just evaporate right out of the thing and right up into the air. We don't want to do that. We want to let it sit naturally, let those oils cultivate, I guess. Okay, so far this has been on here for about a minute. I'm going to check up on my bread. I'm going to pull these out. As you're going to notice, these sides are nice and burnt already. I'm just kidding, they're not burnt. They're cooked just the way I like them. Again, that was just 3 minutes in there. Preheated oven. Flip it over, and because it's already almost all the way cooked, this is only going to take a minute for it to get nice and crispy. I don't like the inside of my bread brown. I'm not a brown bread kind of guy. Plus it's on the outside, I guess. Now that I've done that, I'm gonna go ahead and flip these over. Following the instructions, of course, on your package about how to cook these things. This is how I cook mine.
3 hours later.
All right, about a minute has passed by. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull these little breads out of the oven. See, they come out just right. Not as toasty as the other side. Watch out, those are gonna be hot on the edges. Make sure you guys turn those temperatures off, guys. Make sure you have all of your things off when you're done with them. Lord knows we don't want a house burning down, guys, okay? So make sure you guys stay safe and turn off all of your equipment when you're done with it. All right, now that this has been sitting for a minute, I'm also gonna flip these right back over. As you can see, they're starting to bend. That means that they're pretty much thawed out, and so this is the cooking stage. Okay. Now this is where it gets tricky. Again, some people like to put a lid on top of it and make those steam out a little bit quicker and thaw out a little bit quicker. I'm just patient, guys. You just gotta be patient sometimes in the kitchen. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it up to 7 because I like mine a little bit crispy on the outside. Okay, and watch out, guys. I do have an extremely hot oven. It's hotter than normal. I guess it's a smaller range, so the heat's more condensed. I don't know how it works. But I am gonna go ahead and fry these up so that way they're a little crispy on the outside, because that's how I like my sausage. All right, and while those sausages are browning, I'm gonna go ahead and open up what I like to put on mine. I don't know what you guys like on your eggs and sausage and breakfast sandwich, but I do like a little bit of mayonnaise on mine. A little bit of mayonnaise goes a long way, especially on a piece of toast, guys. You don't want too much because it's just gonna stick above the bread. It's not gonna absorb into it like it normally does. Gotta be just the right amount. And again, I do like my sausage a little crispy on the outside. You guys can hear that stuff nice and sizzly, guys, nice and sizzly. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip these puppies over. I got that nice and brown, just the way I like that one. You guys can see that one's nice and brown. This is gonna go by real quick, so pay attention, guys. Don't overcook things. We don't like burnt things, unless you do like burnt things, and you know, whatever, it's your thing. And again, I'm gonna take this bread. I'm gonna mayonnaise, butter up the other side. I'm gonna butter up the other side of this bread with some mayonnaise. Okay. And I did pick the better of the two eggs that's nicely shaped for our bread selection. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and check on my my sausages over here, make sure they're not burnt. And look at that. Just right, guys, just right. All right, guys, I got my sandwich. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half. There we go. Make sure you push down firmly so that way everything sinks in. You gotta use your fingers to line up the edges on the side, that's fine. Okay. I love this knife, guys, I love this knife. All right, guys, remember sometimes it's all about presentation, so I am gonna take this sandwich that I cut. I'm gonna take it on my nice, clean, old-ass china plate here. I'm gonna put down my sandwich nice and beautifully. And I like to garnish it with just a little bit, not too much. Okay, guys, not too much. You know you don't want to be on the toilet for the next 3 days. Some banana peppers, just nice and scooted right up in there. Again, don't put on too much because we don't want to be sitting on the toilet for the next 5 days. And there you have it, guys. Dancing Bear's famous breakfast sandwich. I got my Myrtle Beach Wet Willie's famous orange juice. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Wet Willie's in Myrtle Beach, but it's Wet Willie's. It's a bar, it's a party, it's an institution, guys. Make sure you guys got your favorite breakfast drink in it. Make sure there's no... Oh, vodka. Thanks for joining me in my humble abode, guys. I'm sorry it's such a mess around here. Next time it'll be better, I promise. I'm gonna be coming at you with maybe a little bit more fancy than obviously a breakfast sandwich. It's not that hard to make. I guess you can call this making breakfast sandwich for dummies. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Come back for more. Aloha. Oh no, licious. Oh no, licious, guys. Oh no, licious.
About what's working for you, your children, and their future. At JP Morgan, we're dedicated